Cities has a much higher than average number of households that use antennas rather than cable or satellite to receive TV signals.
That's one of the reasons we're on a government list of cities now most likely to have some difficulty with the transition to digital television in June. So there's a lot going on right now to reach out to Minnesotans who are not ready. And that includes non-English speakers and low-income folks. Here's Carol 11's Jeff Olson.
Imagine if this was the only way to hear the ins and outs of DTV. A foreign concept explained in a foreign language. In essence, that's what some groups of Minnesotans have been facing in this conversion. Despite FCC meetings for non-English speakers like this one for Minnesota's Hmong community and others for Spanish speakers, at this late date in the countdown,
communities of color, low-income communities, and non-English speaking communities are not ready for the switch.
Just how unready became more clear following the opening of the Twin Cities' 2 DTV Assistance Centers back in January. One center is here at the Main Street project in South Minneapolis, originally designed as a home base for community education and outreach in Espanol. But when it first opened, workers here were swamped with calls for help from leaders of other non-English speaking communities.
Clearly people had been hearing something about this but hadn't really focused on it, and then all of a sudden came to them that, yikes, we have to do something here. So we spent the day, the entire staff, answering phone calls.
And obviously, Main Street Project and Media Empowerment Project can't reach all of those folks.
But Stephen Renderos of the Minnesotano Media Empowerment Project says organizers are trying to reach as many of those folks as possible.
The best approach for us is to go where people already have relationships. And so for us, it's neighborhood-based organizations, geographically centered groups, and, train them and have that information filter down to the other folks.
Among the news filtering down now, the Converter Box coupon program that had run out of money has been refunded. $650 million of that economic stimulus package is being used to fill over 4 million coupon requests on its waiting list.
The folks that are going to be most impacted by this are low income.
In other words, for some, no $40 coupon would have meant no television.
We really need that.
Rendero says his community needs things like severe weather information,
The wind chill warning in effect,
and educational programs.
I learned English watching television. For kids growing up in these sort of Spanish-speaking households, the television is a source of learning for them.
Brian Thawara says the same is true of the area's Laotian families.
Television is one of the key means that our community finds out information that's crucial to their resettlement. We need to be able to access the same news that everyone else is able to access.
So, at the Lao Assistance Center in Minneapolis, they're doing mass mailings.
Very simple.
And one-on-one demonstrations on how to go digital.
To TV.
So come conversion time, everyone can answer yes to, are you DTV ready? No matter what language is used to ask the question. In Minneapolis, Jeff Olson, KARE 11 News.
Well, seniors who need help with DTV should call the Minnesota Volunteers of America, and Spanish and Laotian speakers who still have questions can contact one of the state's 2 DTV Assistance Centers. All this information is on our website. It's KARE11.com, and then click on Extras for DTV.